My name is Nicole Chan. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Nicole Chan, and as Luke mentioned, I'm the IXD program lead. The SMC IXD program is very unique. It's the only interaction design bachelor's program at a community college in the United States, as far as I know. We have been. I'm not sure if something changed quickly in the meantime. For those watching on YouTube, the IXD program welcomed its first cohort of students back in the fall of 2016 as one of just 15 bachelor's programs launched at California community colleges. This spring, the SMC IXD program welcomed its 10th cohort, which is a big milestone for us. And next Tuesday, we're going to have 18 more IXD students that'll graduate, and this will bring our total number of graduates to 158. So I'm excited to introduce our special guests. These are the industry experts who are here with us today to provide feedback and insights. So I know Jenny, if you wanna start, introduce yourself to begin.
Hello, yeah, I'm so happy to be back. I'm Jenny. I'm a producer, a senior game producer at Riot Games on the cosmetics team for League of Legends, which is just a flavor of project manager. I think Nicole and I first connected in like 2020 or something. It's been a while now, so I'm really excited to be back, and I'm very excited to see what everyone brought for a review today.
Cool, Michelle, you wanna say hello?
Yes, hi, Michelle here. Pronouns are she, her, and I support all things recruiting at a studio called Bonfire. But back in the day, about a million years ago, Luke and I were on the same team, the people team at Riot Games, and cut my teeth coming up in gaming through Microsoft Riot, a little bit at Netflix, and now Bonfire.
Awesome, thank you.
Great. So each spring, graduating seniors work on an individual design project for 16 weeks, with the exception of this second group that's going to go. That was a dynamic duo. The IXD Virtual Grad Show is an opportunity to share their progress with the community and receive feedback from industry experts like we have here today. Because students worked individually, or in a case of pairs, you'll see a variety of different types of projects and presentations. We've also tried student work around a theme, and the theme for this session is on gaming. So the rules of this are, again, students are going to present for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then the rest of the time will be for feedback from our guests. Jenny, you're going to go first for Geo. You'll take the lead, and then Michelle will fill in if there's any extra time. I'll try to put some time in the chat just so we know when we start and end. And then in terms of feedback, Nicole, do you want to take the lead on that?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and paste it in the chat, but a feedback structure that we use all the time in our program is the I like, I wish, I wonder method. So I like a starting point for what went well or what was positive. I wish is a starting point for what could be done differently or improved. And I wonder can be a starting point for questions that are still unanswered or ideas of how a student could push their work forward.
Cool. So to lead things off, Geo, Jenny, this is a Riot themed project, as you will see. So we're excited to have you here. Geo?
Hi. Hello. Yes, I will share my screen. Super excited, by the way. All right. And everyone see my screen?
We can. It looks great.
Awesome. And then do I just start whenever or?
You got this.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Giorgio Tandera. I'm a UX UI designer with a strong passion for gaming and player experience. For my capstone, I chose to combine both worlds by diving into a game I'm passionate about, Valorant. Join me and let's have a closer look into how I imagine its UI to improve decision-making in high-pressure moments. Let's start by asking, what is Valorant? Valorant is a 5v5 competitive first-person shooter developed by Riot Games. Think Counter-Strike, but with agents or characters with special abilities like teleportation. It's one of the biggest games in the world with over 28 million monthly players in it and a thriving esports scene. In games like Valorant, every second counts. One miscue can be the difference between winning and losing a round. That's why I kept Riot's core design value of player first at the heart of my design decisions. As a both designer and a player, I've noticed how unclear UI can lead to critical mistakes, even at the pro level. Now imagine this. You're at the Valorant World Championship. The crowd is roaring. You are second, one of the best players in the world. You've practiced endlessly, but then you and your teammate fall off the map. It wasn't your aim, it wasn't strategy, it was confusion, caused potentially by the UI. So what happened? Let me explain. In Valorant, Jett has an ability called Tailwind, which lets her dash in the direction she's moving. When activated, a wind trail effect like this and a timer like this shows up. These UI elements communicates to users that they can use the ability. Another character, KO, has an ability called Null Command that prevents enemies from using all abilities for a short duration. Players will see a purple glitchy effect on the bottom of their screens when suppressed, as well as these suppressed indicators. The problem is that when we are suppressed, Jett's ability UI is still there. This UI overlap can create confusion to players. So what's the big idea? What does this matter? My goal here is to redesign a better HUD clarity to reduce gameplay confusion and mistakes. To capture how players feel about the game, I want to invite you to watch a clip from Kadrill, League of Legends analyst and caster reacting to a chaotic Valorant round.
Look at this chat! Let's rush the bomb site. Blue wall. Raining smoke. Nami ult. I don't know what that is. Nasus E all over the site. Incoming nukes. Nukes dropping down. Wall. Pushing over the rocket with rocket launcher flying over. Insane splash grenade. In laser beam from the sky. This guy can't see anything. He sees blue. This guy sees yellow. He sees something. He's flash. This guy peeks. A kill. I can see. I can't see. This guy's casting a spell. More smokes. More rain. More lasers from the sky. Green. This guy's a dog. Sniper. And then the site's taken. Like, what in the is that game?
As you can see, Valorant can get very confusing. Gaming UX UI is a field where clarity and speed of information are critical to player experience. I looked at competitors such as Marvel Rivals, Counter-Strike 2, and Overwatch 2 to find gaps and opportunities for improvements in Valorant. For example, Overwatch uses a big standard status indicators like hacked, while Valorant uses small indicators, easy to miss. I think Overwatch does a good job here. So my first prototype focused on the suppression overlap issue, removing distracting effects like Jett's UI and creating a big, clear suppressed design for Valorant. Next, I tried experimenting and gave the HUD a new look, and I want to see how the community would feel. I used a competitive Valorant subreddit to gather user feedback, and here's what I learned. The big health bars are overrated, and they did not like it. Expressing that big health bars doesn't make sense in a fast time to kill game like Valorant. They prefer a simple and scannable number HP that isn't too distracting. Players like the big suppressed indicators, the current tiny one, and they feel like ammo and ability should be closer together rather than further apart. The feedback I received helped me understand player needs better, so I refined the prototypes and did another round of feedback on Reddit. This time I got over 36,000 views, 25 plus comments, and over 120 upvotes. Here's what I learned. They feel like the visual polish feels like a mobile game and cheap. They have mixed opinions on the new placement, the timer from the center to the bottom right, and they love and prefer the new ultimate ability design. I interviewed JJ, a top 1.14% Valorant player, about my redesigns. 3 insights stood out to me. He relies on the bottom screen UI the most. Status effects confusion is real, even at his high rank. He wants consistent visual feedback for all status effects. His confusion was with another character though, Reyna. When Reyna eliminates an enemy, a purple orb like this appears, and then a tiny box UI pops out to users to communicate to them that they can use the ability. Here's a quote from JJ that highlights his frustrations. He says, "I've died so many times seeing the orb, thinking I can use my ability, but I'm actually suppressed. Here's a simple solution that can help eliminate the problem. I removed the orbs and the bar and added the big suppressed on the bottom right corner. Removing these UI can create a better player experience. And here's what the final design of the new heads-up display looks like. Here's what the final design for the suppress UI looks like. I had more time, I would love to explore player churn and the effects of bad UI, designed for standardized status feedback, look into other agents and abilities, and finally test on users. As game UX UI continues to grow, I believe it's time to take HUD design seriously. Players deserve better tools, and studios have the power to deliver them. Thank you for taking a closer look with me.
All right, Gio, nice work. So Jenny, we have until 12:20 as I wrote in the chat. So you go
Wonderful.
first. You can go as long as you want, and then we'll turn it over to Michelle.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, Gio, excellent. I'm excited that this is the opener for today. If you see me looking off to the side, it's because I took notes, so I didn't lose track of what I was thinking of. There were a bunch of I likes. I'm going to start with those. I loved the focus on Twitch reactions and like how important that like quarter-second piece of information is. It shows a deep understanding of the genre and the critical thinking. Like, why the heck does this actually matter? How do players actually experience it? Which I think is key to any good design. I love the comparison to other games that you thought did it better. I'm not sure if it was part of the project requirements to incorporate public feedback, but I love that you did that. And I know some of the pull quotes in particular were like not very nice. And it seems like you internalize them with a lot of humility and like neutrality, which I think is wonderful because people are not always super kind in their feedback, but that doesn't mean there isn't something valuable there. So I was impressed with that. One of the things that stuck out to me was this almost felt a little bit split between a general UI redesign versus a focus on just the suppression. And so I understand that just if you made a perfect solution for just the suppression, but it didn't work for anything else, that probably wouldn't be a perfect solution. But I wonder if there could have been just that focus on the suppression, or if it could have been general, because to me it felt a bit split between them, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that was just something that stuck out to me. It was like some of the slides felt focused overall, some of them felt focused on just the suppression. And what I wish, this is going to sound like a little bit of a cop-out, I wish, but I wish we could actually play test this. Instead of just like seeing screenshots and having people give feedback on it. I think that's a really great step one. But the feel is everything for a game, like you were demonstrating that you have a good understanding of. And I wish we could know how it impacts, like how does the red suppress? The red suppress looks great for me. I have a full range of color vision, but with someone with red-green color blindness, is that like really blending into the background or not? I don't know. I wish I knew. So that was pretty quick. Gio, did you have any questions or did you want to double tap on anything I said?
I'm not sure, but I think based on the structure, first of all, thank you. Like, this is such an honor to be able to present this to you guys. I just follow Luke. I think I don't get to talk until like everyone gets feedback.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I?
No, it's all right.
We have 5 minutes.
Yeah, we do have 5 minutes. Gio, do you want to do a quick thing? Then we'll kick it over to Michelle.
I just want to like, I guess, answer that question. I do also wish that I could play test this. It's just like, it's not, when I get a kill, I wouldn't have able to, a UI, but I do have a video demo that I did and what it possibly looked like, essentially recreating the master's, clip I showed at the beginning, but with a new UI. So that's just one of like.
That's awesome. That's a very clever, step closer to actual playtesting.
Cool. Michelle, do you want to offer some feedback?
Yeah, totally. First off, Gio, thank you so much for running us through that. I had to refresh myself with Valorant. It's been a while since I got my, I was humbled in playing that game. So it was a fun weekend preparing to see your presentation. Something I like that was so obvious and evident in everything that you shared was approaching this from a player perspective, which I know at Riot in particular is such a huge emphasis of why decisions are made. And it really felt like you brought that sensibility into every recommendation that you made and every piece of data or insight that you were trying to validate. And I just really, it's super impressive. It's a hard thing to do and keep top of mind. And I think you just found that sweet spot in this presentation for sure. Something on the Wish side, not being someone that is a competitive Valorant player, at all. It would have been awesome in some of the breakdowns to see maybe 3 lenses. So the current state as it exists for a more casual player and the current state as it exists for a more competitive player, only because some of the things that were highlighted, I will never see as someone who's not playing at that competitive level.
That game.
So seeing that variety could be really cool. And the only thing around I wonder is, as you're going through this sort of exercise and in a world where you're able to play test it, I'm just so curious what your game design partners would be able to glean around character design relative to some of the rework on the HUD that you're referencing. Some of the even like combat clarity things, I think that a reimagined HUD can help address and unlocks designers to think of new abilities and new character experiences in new ways. And so that would be the wonder piece, is just how inspiring and influential can this sort of rework be to design partners that you would work with in the future. But that was it for me. I had a really great time seeing this. I want to get back in there and play some more today.
So Gio, we have a couple minutes. Any follow-up questions?